Then you don't even get any billing on here. All right, hey everybody, it's Kristen. We're live. I guess the first thing I have to ask is, can you hear us? Oh, all right. Well, I'm going to assume everybody can hear us if you're on there. But anyway, it is Kristen. It's Wine Wednesday, and Ben and I are going to go to Clones today. So we have our yay, Craig. You can hear us. Thank you. We're doing Pommard first. So we originally were going to be doing the 2018 7-7 clones and the 2018 Pommard clones. And lo and behold, over the weekend and last week, because of all you wine club members adding it to your shipments, we sold out of our 2018 clones. So no more. So Ben and I scrambled, but good thing is he always makes more. So we are doing 2019 777 clones and 2019 Pommard. 19,777, you don't have it. Of course not. It's coming out in the Fall Club shipment, which is shipping on the 18th, or you can pick it up. So long story short, we've got some clones. We're going to talk all things clones today. If you are out there listening, Craig, this is for you. Yolanda, Ron, this is all you guys. Anybody who knows the 777 story, type it in because I'm curious who knows it. Ben has told it a million times. I think I kind of know it, but we're going to see if anybody can tell it better than Ben. But in the interim,
that'll be good.
That's what I figure. I just always test them. We Ben asked me what kind of glasses I wanted today, so we have got both of our Riedel wine glass sets. This is
two out of the three.
2 out of the 3. He said 3 choices, and we only have 2 wines. So Performance Riedel wine wings. We're thrilled, but let's pour some wine.
All right, so we're going to do the Pommard. We'll start out with the Pommard clone in the what do they call it? Que Bruto glass.
Que Bruto, is that what this is called?
Yeah,
Que Bruto glass?
The ugly glass.
It is the
Italian.
ugly glass. So the 2019 Pommard. Now this is available. It is online, and you can get it as part of your club shipment as well. Las Vegas slot machine 777. Dang it, Craig. Craig does know the story. Good job. We'll tell that in a few. So cheers, first of all.
Cheers.
It's Wednesday.
All day,
half the night. And our harvest is over. We've got all of our grapes in. They're finishing up. They're fermenting. They'll go to bed in their barrels for Bruto also means stupid. It's a stupidly ugly glass. How about that? Anyways, cheers. Tell us what you guys are drinking out there. This is one of my favorite wines. And I'm loving the 19s. Oh, that's good. Well done.
Thank you.
I like that. Okay, so Pommard clone. What is we can do our fancy. What is a clone? What exactly is a clone? It's not Dolly the sheep.
No, well, it's closer to Dolly the sheep than other things, but it's Latin or Greek. Actually, it's Greek for a cutting-thum, a mother plant. So it's a cutting-thum, the same plant that's propagated over and over again. And if you're looking at roses, that's a good example of how to explain it. If you know how many different kinds of roses there are. Well, it's the same with Pinot clones. There's lots and lots of thousands of them actually. So they take a cutting-thum to mother plant and propagate it and continue it on. And so Pommard is one of the early ones from the commune of Pommard in Burgundy, and was probably one of the very first clones planted in the Russian River area in the early 60s. Joe Rocchioli, Joe Swan, and a few other guys.
Named Joe?
Named Joe,
oh,
yeah.
Named Joe.
Joe. We'll call him the Pommard Joe. But
is Pommard also 115?
No.
No,
it's a separate. Dijon clones are these French numbered clones, and they have these great names for them, but it's 115, 114, 667, 777, 828, and it goes on. But they're kind of categorized by the kind of weather they grow in. The cooler region, warmer region, different kinds of soils do better with different clones. So the clones here are very popular in the Russian River, are the Dijon clones and Pommard. So, and also heritage clones. These heritage clones probably were cuttings that in the old days, guys went to Europe, took cuttings of plants and brought them back and propagated them on their property, like Beringer. And there's lots of different Swan clone. and they really haven't identified them. Now they have DNA and they're able to really identify them. But that I don't get too deep into that. I just what people grow is what I look for. So in the Russian River area, the Dijon clones very popular, and so that's what we pick. And most of our growers usually plant more than 1 or 2 or 3 clones, because blending them together, you get much more depth of flavors, because they're each one of those different clones, much like roses, have different smells and different textures and different flavors.
Colors.
So the more of those you have, the more layered flavors you get in your wines.
So we buy all of our fruit, of course. We work with our growers hand to hand. But we purchase Pommard 777 clearly. What
115, 667 also.
Okay.
We did get some Behringer clone, and I've used a few other ones that are available, but mostly it's Dijon clones and Pommard clones that we work with.
Okay. So then, as he says, his roses example, which is the way I learned clones. Each clone, for example, is a different rose. So the Pommard is a yellow rose. The 777 is a white rose. The 667 is a red rose, and then the 828 or 115, I forget, is a yellow rose. So we have all different colors of roses. If I repeated a color, I apologize. But the 777 clone and the Pommard clone are all yellow roses, so one type of clone, but from different areas. So one vineyard, it may be a brighter yellow than the other vineyard. Then another vineyard might be a little taller than the other one. So this is a bouquet of yellow roses from different areas in Russian River Valley. Then when you look at our single vineyard blends, or you look at our single vineyard Pinots or our blends, because those are blended clones, those are red roses, yellow roses, white roses, all from the same area. So they're all from Laris family vineyards, or they're all from Peters, but it's different roses. So hopefully that kind of makes sense. That's the way I can understand it. I always order an extra case of Pommard and 777. Ron, we know you do. Well done. Ron's coming out to the winery Friday.
Oh, nice.
We'll have to have some we're sold out at 777. We'll have some Pommard for you, though, at the winery. I think we might be pouring Pommard, but if not, we'll definitely pour some for you. Pommard is also, to me, a little more masculine of the clones. I think it's got a little more of those earth notes.
Well, they also, the French have an interesting term from Pommard. They call it the clone with the iron fist and a velvet glove. And I think that signifies it has a lot of power, but power of fruit and the power of the flavors, but it's a very velvety, so it's soft and velvety. So they call it this iron fist and a velvet glove. And the package is very smooth in entry, but it's got a mouthful of flavor.
I think it's delicious. And the 19s are delicious. And the 19s, so club members, you got the first half of the 19, this included in the spring. So you probably drank it if you're like me. 19s are doing 18 is the current vintage we're pouring in the tasting room. So typically we're drinking the 18s because that's what we have open. So it's a treat for me, I know, to get to taste the 19. I don't get to taste it very often.
Yeah, no, this is the first time I've had it in quite a while, since it came out of the barrel pretty much. But this particular vintage, the 2019, we just got it all into the barrel, and then we had the fire here. And so where we're sitting right now, to my right is my back fence. That fire came over the hill and almost to the back of my house, and that's where they set up the final fire line. They figured if it burned through my little neighborhood, it would have wiped out the whole town of Windsor. So we were very fortunate. 19, it was all tucked away by the time we were evacuated. I had to evacuate to the city that year. But
yeah, we were in 2019. I forget the names of the fire at this point. Was that Kincaid? That was Kincaid Fire, 2019. And so clearly, secret's out. We're at Ben's house. I was hoping to get in the pool. That's usually where he is, but I think it's
you got a little chilly today.
Well, that's fun. You have a hot tub too. Jerry enjoyed sharing a bottle of your 777 at a wine tasting gathering last week. Host and guests never had your wine. They loved it. Thank you. We love all you ambassadors out there that are always sharing our wines.
Absolutely.
I don't share it with anybody.
So, just a little bit about the single clones that we do. In 2003, we were tasting the two vineyards we had. As we were pretty much the first couple of years we were getting started, we had Peter's Vineyard and Laris Vineyard. And so we had a whole selection of each one of them grow 4 and 5 different clones. So at the end of the night, we were sitting there with two glasses of Pommard, one from Laris and one from Peter's Vineyard. And at the end, we just kind of said, well, I wonder how this would work. And we kind of put the two together. And once we did that, we tried it, and it was better than just the single clone separately. So we came out, and 2003 was the first year we did a blend from the two different vineyards, and the Wine Spectator liked it and gave it 94 points. So after that, we knew we were on the right road to something. But
isn't that great? Sometimes you hear these stories, you think there's something scientific behind it. There's all this research, there's all this craziness, and really, it's the end of the night. Ben and Bruce are just sitting there going, I'm tired of holding 2 glasses. And try it, and delicious. And then it births this amazing wine. But yeah, Pommard has always been one of my favorites. Consistent ages. You brought in a bottle of 03 Pommard back in, I think, March of 2020. We did a in-person and Riedel seminar before the world shut down, and you brought in an 03 Pommard, and it held up. It was delicious.
Winner.
Do you have any?
Not many people, not many winemakers have experimented with. I've seen quite a few single clone wines, some single vineyards, and to me they were somewhat one-dimensional. And the addition of the single clone to many locations really prompted me to do our next wine, and I'll explain that when we get to that one.
When we get to the 777.
Yeah, we just talk a little bit here about.
Yeah.
About the 2019, and I'm going to read right from the tasting notes because they're really current. And so the 2019 reflects excellent lots of wine that went into the blend. A complex nose, red and purple fruit wrapped in a warm baking spice notes. The palate reveals black cherry, raspberry, strawberry framed with medium acidity and well-integrated oak. As the wine opens, nuanced purple fruit like fresh plum and blackberry emerge. This well-balanced wine delivers velvety, complex flavors with a long, expansive finish. And
I agree.
If you taste it now, I think the notes really hit.
Yeah, they did. So we
about.
write the tasting notes before release, which if this was released in the spring, we wrote these in pretty much January, February, dead on. And actually, Ben had some raspberries out earlier, so I'm getting a little of that raspberry.
Yeah, no, the raspberry comes through,
here.
a little blackberry, and the plum flavors almost in the nose also, but really I pick up the toast, some toast in that.
I get a little spice too. All right, Kristen, I know you like older vintages. Yes, I do. Which ones does Ben like? So I'll tell you a funny story on that one. So I love older vintages. Those who know me, you guys know that. You come visit the winery, you come to our parties, you can usually find me holding an old dusty bottle because that's where my palate goes as well. Granted, the new releases too, I find I really like those too. So I like it all. But when I first started working there, we had a lot of library wine. And so we put aside 11 to 12 cases, that's it, of each wine for the owners to drink. Well, their palate, they like that younger, bright fruit, so they tend to just drink what's in arm's reach of them, so they forget about the library wine. Well, then I started doing inventory, and if you've ever done inventory anywhere, you have to count everything. Well, what's one way not to count everything? Sell it. So
or drink it,
but I wasn't allowed to drink it. I didn't have carte blanche then. I really kind of don't now. But I started doing inventory and opened up a couple older bottles, and they were delicious. So I started pouring them at club events, and then Ben, Bruce, Renee, Jim, everyone comes over and they're like, oh, that's really good. Don't sell it all. What are you doing? What are you doing? So we started really working in these older vintages, and now we drink all the vintages, of course, but I love some of the older ones. I think the 08, 09, especially Magnum, are drinking beautifully right now. 12, we put out some 12s, 13, 14, 15s, amazing right now. What are some vintages you gravitate back towards?
Well, the 4 and 5, 04 and 05 were completely different, and both were fantastic. The '04 was the first year that the Wine Spectator awarded all 7 Pinot releases 91 to 95 points. So we were shocked. It was probably one of the warmest vintages we've ever worked with. Heat spikes. It was like everything was.
You had to work.
It worked.
You had to work. Mother
Incredible.
Nature wasn't giving you that one.
And then '05, which after 2002, 3, and 4, the warmer, and warmest years, we had a very cool year in 2005. And the wine writers have been writing, kind of getting a little bit nasty about wines that were from warmer vintages seem to be riper. So they were getting above 14.5. And so in 2005, we had a very cool year, and the wines went back down to 13.6, 13.7 or 8, very elegant wines. And they didn't recognize them. They kind of ranted on them about not being ripe and not being blah, blah, blah. But anyway, so I had a little revenge for that.
Like getting all the rewards?
Yeah, well, so what we did was we entered the 2005 and the 2009 Pigs and Pinot. And
just like the Oscars of Pinot Noir out here in wine country.
And that, right? Everybody had their 2007s, which were a beautiful year. And everybody put their 07s in, and we put our 05 in, and we won Pigs and Pinot with the 05 Peters. So we were very, very happy about that. But it was also felt vindicated after all the nonsense about being too cool, and that it showed beautifully. And that's what we aim to do right now, is do wines, elegant style Pinot Noirs, not over the top.
But I also always say a good winemaker can make good wine in a bad year. When you have a good year, when Mother Nature gives you everything, like 2012, sounds a little bit probably like 07. If you make a bad wine in a good vintage year, probably should look for another line of work.
Go play golf.
Go play. Well, you probably are. You probably have a job. But when you have to actually work, and and Mother Nature doesn't just give it all to you. Sorry, Randy. I know Randy likes to think everything's done in the vineyard, but you have to bring it into the winery. You do have to work a little harder, maybe make different decisions on picking or this or that or some of the aspects to it. Because I always say follow the winemaker. I always say if you like the winemaker style, you're going to like what they do year in and year out, because you can take a hard year, 2010, 2011, really hard years. Oh my gosh, those wines are beautiful right now and drinking well. I joke that they didn't peak in high school. They had to get out of high school to become something. But you're very consistent year in, year out with your wines and what you do.
Well, we did originally, so 18 years as a home winemaker, developed a style of wine, and really I tried to focus in on Pinot Noir because that's what I was interested in. And we lived in San Francisco, only like 75 miles away from one of the best growing regions of Pinot Noir, the Russian River Valley.
Well, and if you don't buy the wine, he's going to have to drink it all himself.
I'll do it.
Because while you keep making more, he'll do it.
But one of the things I wanted to do was to be consistent from year to year. Many times in the 70s and 80s, we would like a wine one year and then go back and purchase it again the following year, and it would be terrible. And maybe they fired the winemaker. I didn't know why it was like that, but I didn't think it was conducive for people going back to the same brand over and over again. So we developed a winemaking style that I could do year in and year out. So we make all the 10 different Pinot Noirs that we make. We have a system we use. We use the same process, although each wine has different needs, and we deal with those separately. But generally, all the wines are made with the same process. We use the same yeast to ferment. I've experimented with natural yeast, and I didn't like the variances that I got, so I use yeast made specifically for Pinot Noir, and I have 2 or 3 that I use on each lot. And then our consistency using the same cooper. I use the same style barrel every year, and I use them brand new 1-year-old and 2-year-old through the whole lots. And so the consistency is the winemaking style, but then the wines, if you like Peter's, you'll like it this year. You'll probably like it last year. You'll probably like it next year because it's done pretty much the same way. So we take the winemaker style out, and what we try to show each year is where the wine came from. So that was the important thing, to how to figure out how to make that happen. And 18 years in experimenting, and 5 or 6 of my commercial years developing it. And I think we pretty well conquered that.
So here's a question. So Ben is not trained in school. He didn't go to school for this. He bootlegged for years in his garage in San Francisco. Was there a bad vintage? Was there one time you made it and you said, oh, Yolanda, we got vinegar this year, we're good?
No, but we did something kind of silly and kind of stupid. One year we bought bought a brand new barrel and put Zinfandel in it that was moldy because we didn't have any way to separate the mold out of it. It was a very wet year.
Mold on the grapes or the barrel?
On the grapes.
Okay.
And so we used the barrel, and then the following year after we washed it out, put the Pinot in there, and it didn't come out right. So we got rid of the wine and the barrel. And that was a lesson because it was expensive. We lost a barrel of wine, and the barrel itself, we had another 2 uses for it. But
were you buying French oak barrels back when you were living in the city?
From the beginning, yeah.
They're not cheap.
I started in 1980 in small barrels. We did 5-gallon to 15-gallon oak barrels, usually American oak, because we were trying to get in bigger. So when Bruce joined me in 1985, we were able to buy more fruit and bigger barrels. And then we went to a person we knew, the broker for Francois Frères, and asked to buy some barrels. He was rather reluctant to sell to home winemakers.
Yeah.
We begged him, and Mel Knox finally agreed to sell us 3 barrels. And so every year I would buy 3 barrels. And so we would use a brand new 1-year-old, 2-year-old. And then after that third use, we would get rid of them and buy 3 new ones. And so that's kind of the same thing we do now. We use a third brand new oak to a half, between a third to a half new oak on every lot. And these 2 lots, the 777 and the Pommard, we use up to 70 or 75, 80% new oak.
And what's interesting is if you ever go to Ben's house in the city, all of his furniture is made from barrels. everything in the house is made from barrels, because you guys had so many extra barrels going on. 777 is my favorite. I know, Crystal, Karen, you guys, that's your favorite. Let's see, who's drinking the 17 Pommard? Oh, Craig's drinking the 17 Pommard. And then, okay, Yolanda asked the question, I'm going to put out there, how many bottles to the barrel? I'm putting that out there to everybody, not you. Don't answer yet. I poured us some 777. Since we're talking about the 777, and I've been swirling it and opening it, but I'm going to take a sip of it.
All right. Well, so I'll just finish up with the Pommard.
Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Finish up he's going to tell the.
I just want to say the Pommard comes from. Today we make it with 3 different vineyards. We use the Laris family vineyard, the Peters vineyard, and the Bucher family vineyard for the Pommard.
And you'll see Bucher sells a lot of their fruit. They also make their own wine. They were one of our guests on our Wine Wednesday. They're fantastic. We don't make a single vineyard Bucher, but we do have their fruit in more than just what else
the
is there?
777 to Pommard and different parts of the Russian River.
Cool. The blends in there. Dan wanted me to tell you about our glasses. I did in the beginning, but I'll redo it. These are the Riedel, not Riedel, that's the high school. Riedel wine glasses. We use these in our tasting room. We use the more traditional bulb Pinot Noir style glass, because the glass really does make a difference. But this is the performance stemware. This is what we've been doing our Riedel seminars with. Phenomenal if you were able to take part in that. So the performance glassware, you can see how it is the bulb, and it pops up with the lip. Awesome. This is their newest, called Wine Wings. It's also called the ugly glass, or what's it in Italian?
Che Brutto.
Che Brutto. Looks like me in a swimsuit, actually.
Well, that's what that's what the Riedel family call it.
That's why he won't let me in his pool. But yeah, it's the ugly glass, but it's really cool because I don't pour a lot of wine anyway, but the wine kind of stays below this little lip thing and it just kind of hangs out there, and they're awesome. And we thought we'd have fun today with the 2 different glasses and the 2 different wines. So
these glasses are dangerous though, because if you have friends, like I have friends that will like to have a full glass of wine, this glass will hold a whole bottle of wine.
It'll hold a bottle in a glass. Dan did that. It goes up to like here. Yeah, this is a whole glass. And let me tell you, if any of your friends are filling up their entire glass with wine, give them something else, because you want to make sure you have good wine to drink too. So the noses are very different. This is why you have 2 hands. This is called Irish handcuffs, by the way, because you can side by side. It is one of my favorite things to do, whether it be 2 different vineyards, 2 different clones, 2 different vintages. I think you get so much out of side by siding. So 19 Pommard and 19 777. It's on its way for you members out there. And
if you haven't tried this, the glasses are spectacular at showing the nose. It's unbelievable. I mean, you put your nose in there and wowzer. I mean, it makes you want to dip your schnoz in there again and again.
I forget to drink it sometimes, not for long, but I really like to smell the wine, and I get more out in the nose prior to smelling it. So think about it, right? Your taste, you have 4 to 5 different sweet, sour, salty, whatever. Your nose, you have thousands and thousands. And so what you're getting with your nose, your palate simply confirms it. Ron's having lunch tomorrow at Diavola, thanks to your show a couple weeks ago. My God, if they have the harvest pizza, I've been dreaming about that. They are delicious. Tell them we said hi, of course.
I ate there day before yesterday.
What'd you have?
Well, we had the pork cheek pasta, a salad. We had tripe. If you like.
Did you have tripe?
Well, he said he keeps it.
He did.
He has it all the time. So we ordered it. It came with the fried egg. It was really good. And pizza. So
perfect. I think that's awesome. Ben loves tripe. Tripe's not always on the menu, but Dino said, just ask. I always have it. That's awesome. I
asked him about it. He said, I always have it. Good. He must make a really big pot and then keep it ready to go.
He's probably snacking on it the whole time. Okay, so 777 clones. What was the story? Ben will tell it quickly. Craig, you guessed it right, because my theories were it was either the fact that you arrived in Las Vegas on the new Boeing 777 and you had either such a great ride or a horrible ride that was all what was in your head. So you created the 777. I love Dan gave me some examples. 777 was the tax amount Ben paid on his winnings or his bar tab that evening when he wasn't gambling. I like this one. It's named after the M777 howitzer artillery gun.
Ooh, and it's a killer.
You know what that is?
I know what a howitzer is. Yeah,
I'm impressed. I have no idea what that is.
I was in the Army, so.
Now I want to go to Diavola. What
Tomorrow.
time are you there tomorrow, Ron? You're going tomorrow too?
Yeah, with Mel Knox. Do
you want another person with you?
You're more than welcome.
Do you like how I invite myself? What time? I'll pop it in my. What time are you going to be there, Ron? I think we should make it a party. Okay, so 777. Ben, tell us your story of your 777.
Well, I had to, and I mean it. I had to go to Las Vegas for sales, so I went down by myself. But unbeknownst to me, Yolanda's brother and his firehouse, all retired city firemen, were down there partying. We happened to be in the same place. So I worked all day selling, and they partied all day, and then we met up. So I was after dinner. I sat at a couple of dollar slot machines, and I was playing these dollar machines. And I pulled one, and then I looked over at this one to put money in this one to pull it, and this one hit. And wow, holy cow! And when this one hit, I'm looking at this one. This one hit. So this one hit for $2,500. And then this one hit for $1,000. So I won $3,500 and between the two machines in like 30 seconds.
And we don't have a 3,500 clone.
But the guy came out to pay me off. They took my taxes right away. I had to give him my tax information. You know, he didn't believe me. I lost a lot of money, so I had to pay. But anyway,
did you get anything comped?
No, it wasn't. When you play cards and win a couple big ones, they comp you. they just paid me off. I was happy with that.
And do you remember which place it was?
Yeah, it was a Golden Nugget in off of Fremont Street. We usually go to the Strip, but this time we went to Fremont Street. Looser slots. They give you more cocktails and
we'll just keep it at looser slots for Vegas. Yes.
Anyway, it was all sevens, and so I had already made a Pommard clone, and it all of a sudden hit me that wow, all these sevens. I have 5 vineyards that grow the 777 clone. So immediately upon returning, this was early in the year, so all the clones were separate still in the winery. So I went back and made a blend of the 5 different vineyards, which are the Peters Vineyard, the Laris Vineyard, the Booker Vineyard, the Nunes family, and at that time it was Vinoy, and so we put together a blend of the 777, and it's a big seller in Vegas. It's a high roller.
It's a big seller for 17 777 won best wine in the was that in Florida or here?
It was here. The 777 won best red wine
for the Press Democrat. Sold out like that.
North Coast Wine Challenge.
And then 18 we released. 18 is now officially sold out. Although I think we may have some Magnums, possibly a 3-liter for you people of more than 2 friends. Do a 3-liter. And then 19 777. Unfortunately, wine club members, all yours, all day long, won't be available to general public or website until the spring when the wine club has had their fill. So I am thrilled. I've only tasted this 2 other times. Once we were doing the tasting notes. Second, when we did, we tasted our staff on anything. So when you get your club shipment, if you're joining us for unboxing and uncorking, which is where Ben and I go over all the wines, we get to drink it again. I love this time of year.
Now these wines are beautiful, and the alcohol on the 19 is like 13.6.
32 minutes.
You know, and the Pommard was 13.7. So elegant style, both of them beautiful, balance, and bright acidity. The 777 has a little brighter acidity. It's known for its acidity. But, you know, for us, how fortunate we were, the North Coast Wine Challenge, we've won 2 years in a row there. I think it was the Nunes and the Pommard that won there.
We win so much, I can't keep them all straight.
And the...
We have our
no, it was the 777, excuse me.
Yeah.
And then in the American Fine Wine Competition, 2 years in a row. The first year was like 900 wines. And then they have a invitational where they vet the 700 wines that they invite to come, special invitation. And we won again.
And it's a mix of wine writers, restaurant, winemakers, a little bit of everything. Problem with these glasses, I have a hole in them. In mine, because my wine, my wine keeps disappearing. Okay, so we're at 33 minutes, so we're almost done, but we're going to tell you the tasting notes because nobody has any idea of these tasting notes because they just came out. So you have the 777 in front of you, right?
I do. So
we literally wrote these like 2 months ago.
Yeah. So as we said, ever wonder what blending 5 777 clones of Pinot Noir, some 5 renowned Sonoma County vineyards would taste like? Well, here's your chance. An impressive wine has complex nose driven by fresh, high-toned red fruit, purple flowers infused with toasty creme brulee notes. The seductive nose gains complexity as the wine opens. On the palate, it's difficult to tell what flavor takes the lead. There's sweet raspberry, cherry, and cranberry framed with crushed rock minerality and warm barrel toast notes. The complex flavors are heightened by balanced acidity, which it really does have. And this long, classy mouthful of wine, drinking noticeably well now, will gain in complexity as it ages.
So like I said,
you can believe it.
You can believe it. I love the library wines, but look at me sucking these down. These are delicious, these 19s. Thank you, Jessica. Jessica popped up the gold medal winning gift package that we have on our website. Not the gift package. Oh, that is a gift package. We've got two. We've got the gold medal bundle, which is all 4 wines, and then our holiday gift packages are online now. So you can order those and do a future ship date too. Get your shopping done early. But we do have a gold medal gift package, which everything comes with a wine opener because they should make it easy for everybody. So, alrighty, we are going to wrap it up. We've got tons going on. Now we're not only the virtual place to be, but we are the in-person place to be and the out-of-state place to be. We will be heading down to San Diego next month for the San Diego Food and Wine.
To that. They didn't want me to go. I had to force my way in.
That's not true. Ben didn't want to go. And then Ben realized who I was going. And Ben realized we've got members coming and we're going to have so much fun that he said, you can't leave me behind. So November 13th weekend at San Diego Food and Wine, we'll be pouring wine there. Would love to see you. Healdsburg Crush is coming up over on the Healdsburg Square. I think Ben will be in Hawaii, but we will be there pouring wine. And then we will be in Palm Springs in January for the Passion for Pinot tasting. So all that information is on our website. Can't get out to see us there, want to come visit us? Awesome. Our tasting room is open. Please make a reservation. It is still harvest. It's busy. We would love to see you. Pour you wines. I know, Ron, you're coming, which we love.
Peters, Randy.
What do you want to say about him?
Just that we're hoping the best for him.
I don't know.
All right, well.
You can say that. It's like, well, let me do virtuals real quick. October 7th, so Thursday, tomorrow. I think that's tomorrow. Wine, cheese, and chocolate. Beehive Cheese is our partner with that. Amazing. And then we've got Pinot and Paella, Gerard's Paella. You guys all ask about it. You want to do it at home, you get a Paella pan, get all the stuff. You join us on Zoom. We're going to cook
That's
Paella
a really nice
together.
Pan, too.
Whew, it is a nice pan. I kind of want one pan. I'm going to have to join it as well. And then, virtual bingo. Oh, and we're cruising again. Oh, my God. We're doing Istanbul to Rome in 2023. Events are on our website.
A brand new ship.
Brand new ship. We've got a couple cabins available. If you like the 30 minutes with us, imagine 14 days with us. That could go good or bad.
Well, the wine will be good. We'll have plenty of wine.
Well, that's why there's plenty of wine, because you have to hang out 14 days with us. And my last piece is we're actually putting together a Bodega Bay staycation the last week in April. Details hopefully coming to our website by next week or so. And you like more than half an hour, want 3 days with us, don't want to commit to 14. That's your trial run to see if we all like each other, right, Sherry? And then
just we wish the best for our dear friend Randy, who was in a bad accident this last week. And so hoping that he gets out of the hospital soon. He
is okay. It was a bad accident, but we're all praying for him. So he can use any good juju, any good vibes we can send his way, because we need Randy. We love Randy. Indeed. He's amazing. He's in both these wines. So cheers to Randy. Yeah. Cheers to everybody out there. Let's do a double cheers.
Yeah.
Is this a quadruple cheers?
Go.
Cheers. Look at all that music. That's the cool thing about Rito. Hear that music? All right. Anyways, thanks, guys, for joining us. Appreciate it. See you in 2 weeks. Next week, Chef Jim May is on with more cooking, and then we'll be back to the following week.